go. And welcome to episode 340, or 440, excuse me, of the Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm Ian, and this is a podcast that says,
in order to appease the gods, the Druid priests held fire rituals. Prisoners of war, criminals, the insane, animals were burned alive in baskets. By observing the way they died, the Druids believed they could see omens of the future. 2,000 years later, we've come no further. Samhain isn't evil spirits. It isn't goblins, ghosts, or witches. It's the unconscious mind. We're all afraid of the dark inside of ourselves.
nice.
Yes. Little Dr. Loomis from Halloween 2.
Dos.
Yeah, I thought, it's Halloween. I thought I'd give you a little something there. A little tip of the hat to you, my friend, and your little derby there. You're looking pimp smooth, if people could see that.
My derby.
Yeah. I could not pull off that hat.
No.
Much the same way I can't pull off a fedora.
No.
No. I'm like strictly a baseball hat guy. That's the only thing that works on my head. So how are you, sir? It's a crack up of my Red Bull.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
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 I watched that Saw movie with Chris Rock.
Oh yeah, that okay, yeah. What is it called? Spiral, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
It actually looked really good.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, watch that. That was pretty good, I have to say. And I think that's about it. I didn't watch anything. Not anything comes to mind. I've been watching Treehouse of Terror all day, so. So yeah.
I watched today, and I would highly recommend it. It's on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Batman: The Long Halloween.
Oh, I did watch both of those.
Did you?
Yeah, Pretty good.
What did you think of it? Like, is like, I mean, I've read the comic book. Like, that's in my top 2 or 3. Like, maybe in my top 3. Maybe in my top 2. I can't quite, like. Batman Hush is 1. Like, that's my all-time favorite story. And like, it's like The Long Halloween is like right there, along with Batman Broken Bat.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think of, like, what you saw?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I like the whole Harvey Dent thing.
Yeah.
I got into that whole thing. I thought the story was great. Made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like this Two-Face. From anything I can compare it to.
Well, it should be relatively familiar to you. The reason I say that is The Long Halloween, like, that story, like the storyline of Harvey Dent was like largely influenced by The Long Halloween and The Dark Knight.
Right.
So like a lot of that, like, even to the point, like those are, like, in the back of the comic book, in the back of the graphic novel, they have like the alternative covers and stuff. Like, they even have like a movie poster, like it was like done like back in the 90s or the early 2000s, where like it's like, I believe in Harvey Dent, and he has like the vote button like over half of his face.
Yeah.
which they did the as a movie poster for the Dark Knight. And like when I was watching the Dark Knight, like having read The Long Halloween, I'm like, fuck, he stole this shit straight from. I mean, lifted it straight from the fucking comic book almost.
Yeah.
You know. But I do like that version, that tale of like how he becomes Two-Face. I like a lot.
Yeah, me too. I really got into it. Yeah, I thought it was really good. I mean, I watched the whole thing. I mean, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't know all about the fight at the end, though. I think those guys would have not necessarily taken bats out, but I mean, like, put a hurting on them more than they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially Joker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So, it's like they were all coming at him, and he was all fighting them off. Just kick here, kick there. It's the only thing I was a little disappointed in.
I get what you're saying.
I think I needed a little more violence at that point.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're seeing violence throughout this whole first and second part, the calendar murders and all this stuff. And, graphically, people being taken out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we get to the big fight, and it was kind of like, kind of let me down a little bit.
Yeah. Because I think the problem is, like, it's like those characters are just, it's that weird thing of like,
I mean, they almost become henchmen versus the powerhouses that they can wield.
Right.
You know
I mean, part of this is like, this is taking place not too long after Batman Year One.
Yeah.
So, like, that's part of it. Because, like, I mean, you notice, like, he's not Commissioner Gordon, he's still Captain Gordon.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is like Year One, like Joseph Loeb and Tim Sale, the guys who wrote the graphic novel, the book, they talked to Frank Miller about, can we play in that sandbox that you created with Batman Year One, and kind of go back to that a little bit. And he was like, yeah, sure, do what you want, I don't give a fuck. And so, like, that's kind of like where they're setting it. This is like maybe a year after Batman Year One. And so, like, the real focus is still the mob.
Yeah.
And even in the story, the focus is the mob. It's like, but like those characters, it's like they almost include them almost as a side note, because, like, you can't tell a Batman story without Joker or Scarecrow or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the reality is, like, that's not where the story laid at all with those characters. So the only thing that bothered me was Justin Eccles did a very, very good job as Batman.
Right.
Like, I still wish it was Kevin Conroy. Because that's just the voice of Batman forever and forever. However, for Joker, they had D. Bradley Baker doing the voice of Joker, and he's doing a really fucking good Mark Hamill impression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, and he did the voice of Joker in I think it was Batman Arkham Origins, that video game. Like, they didn't bring Hamill in for that, and they didn't use Conroy. They used somebody who sounded similar to Conroy but younger. And they had D. Bradley Baker voice Joker in that game, so it sounds like Hamill. And it just makes me wish Kevin Conroy was doing the voice of Batman more, because I have that, So that was the only thing. Like, I kind of like, I wish it was Kevin. I wish Justin Eccles sounded more like Kevin Conroy, but I liked that Justin Eccles is his voice as Batman overall. Like, it's tough when that's the measuring stick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought overall they did a really good job of kind of like, I'm glad they chopped it into two parts, like they did, and they told the full story as it was. I think there are little things here and there they kind of left out. but like there's little things like throughout, like especially like Batman Year One and then into the Long Halloween, like Catwoman thinks Carmine Falcone's her father,
Right.
and that's what she's like. So like the things like, well, what does she have against the Falcone family? Well, it's because she's the outcast. She's the bastard, if you will, you know.
Right.
And so that was kind of like what her motivations were. And like at the end, when she, you know, he's like Louisa, you know, that was like I guess her mother's name, you know, and stuff like that. So I mean, it's like, but that doesn't make, unless you understand that, it doesn't make as much sense as like it does when you read the book.
I see.
Yeah. But like, overall, I enjoyed the shit out of it. Like I was very happy with how it was done. I like it. They didn't fuck with the ending because the ending is important for the most part.
It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole thing, like Harvey turning himself in.
Yeah, I love that part.
Yeah, and yeah, it's. I'm just like I'm like.
Loved how he had to stand for his cause.
Yeah.
That's so badass.
It is. Like when I go back and I like think about like Batman Hush, like I said, like they twisted that ending around a lot.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed like the story that they told, even though it wasn't really the story of Hush at the end of it. But like with this, like they stayed pretty true to the ending of the comic book for the most part. And I was very happy with that.
Yeah, I thought the ending was great.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming either. I mean, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't see how Harvey was doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or could have been doing it. But I wasn't sure who was doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you learned to like that Dent character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, and they made that happen in the movie too. You liked Harvey Dent in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I did. Even though he was with what's her name, even Bruce Wayne liked him.
Yeah, I mean that line of, you know, you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, that was from the movie. That was the movie.
Yeah. But I mean that line in that movie, like, is like so like self-prophecy, and like the whole thing of like that the model holding up the thing over Dent's face, like they're like, you know, well, maybe you're the Batman. Like, no, I get too little sleep as it is. You know, I mean, if I can watch his face, I can't think of the actor's name.
I know you're talking.
Yeah, but he did a phenomenal job, like playing that character. Like even like once he becomes Two-Face, he's like, you're like, he kind of has a point, you know.
Well, he completely had a point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. The villains that you love to hate.
Yeah.
Right. And he pulled that off. I thought that was one of the stronger villains in the Batman universe that we have in cinematic.
Yeah.
That and Joker.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought the two of them in the same movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Talk about that, two powerhouse actors.
Yeah. And they share that phenomenal scene, like where, you know, in the hospital room.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a dog chasing a car. I mean, that's so fucking good, you know.
No, I know. Believe me.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Just because I like
Ledger gives him the gun, and you know, what are you gonna do? You know, it's like, yeah, so fucking good.
I like the way that movie started, and I like the way it ended.
Yeah,
I just thought it was just all of it was that good. And it was just, it's probably, I have to say, it's probably one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen.
It is.
As far as written, acted, and dark. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the best best written comic book movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Truly. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing in.
I mean, like from beginning to end, it stands up.
When you have a character like Ledger and you wait for every single word that comes out of his mouth, it's like,
Yeah.
what is he going to say next? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and you've seen the movie 100 times, but you still wait for those words to come out of his mouth.
Yeah.
It's that good of a movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
yeah.
you no longer, like, Batman is an entity, but he's no longer the main focus in this movie. It's all jokes. You know what I mean? Like, it's all Joker. I mean, he is the main focus, but you know what I'm saying. You wait for Joker to come on screen.
Right. I think the interesting thing,
he's not the background character. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he's not as forefront as Joker is.
Like, I think, like, if you go back to, like, the 4 previous Batman movies, like the two by Burton and the 2 by Joel Schumacher, like, it's almost like whoever is Batman is inconsequential in those movies. The villain is what you're really there to see. Like, the villains really steal the movie, and Batman's character is never, like, other than, you know, my parents were shot. Like, every single fucking movie has the my parents were shot scene. You know?
Yeah.
And, like, you know, so Batman, like, never evolves. Like, but in at least in the Nolan trilogy, the character evolves. Even if I disagree with how the character evolved, the character evolved.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in the second movie, like, he's like, you know, again, I disagree with this take, but even in the second movie, he's like, I can stop being Batman. Because of Harvey Dent, I can finally stop doing this. I can have a normal life because of Harvey Dent.
Right.
You know, and that always kind of annoyed me because that wasn't the case. Like, with Batman, the crusade will never end. You know, but that was the evolution that Nolan gave the character, and I feel like, you know, you're right. Like, to a certain extent, like, you know, you waited to see the Joker because Heath Ledger was so entrancing when he was on the screen. Like, you couldn't keep your eyes off of him when he was on the screen. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, the character of Batman was still much more interesting. That this is still the forefront character. Like, you know, Ledger was just that fucking good, though, as an actor, that you were just like, I can't wait to see what this guy's going to do next.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, in that movie, the first time I watched it, I was like, holy shit, what's he going to do now? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
And that hospital scene, I was like, that's fucking badass right there.
I mean, the whole thing in the interrogation room with the cop, like, yeah, you know, after Batman leaves and he's like talking to that cop and he's like, you know, that's why I like a knife. A knife's more personal. You see what a man's about when you kill him with a knife. You know, you're like, shit. You know,
you can feel him getting into his head.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. It's like, there are some scenes with Ledger that you forget you're in a movie.
Yeah.
I don't, it's hard to describe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, the problem is, like,
go ahead.
The problem is that, like, you know, unfortunately, Heath Ledger went so far down that rabbit hole, it probably killed him.
Yeah.
Like, getting so far, he went so far to get into that character's mindset. Like, you know, the journal that he kept and everything about the Joker is like, you went to a dark place, my friend. You know, you went to a very fucking dark place. I mean, it shows on the screen, but man, you know, this is sad.
Yeah. But like I said, like, every character that you come across really in that movie was completely believable. I mean, like, they brought a performance that was, like, above. You know what I mean? From Gordon to Batman to Dent to Joker. Do you know what I mean?
Like even Eric
everybody
Roberts
broke
as Sal
his leg.
Maroni was like,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, but he broke his leg. I mean, everything about it was just, they just brought their A game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody brought their A game. And that's, truth be told, I mean, that's why the third movie was so bad, because nobody had their A game on at all.
Yeah.
Characters weren't believable. You know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't. I thought Bane's voice was believable, just not his look, sort of. I don't know. I just couldn't. I liked him.
The problem is, like, you run into that issue of, you know, for the most part, like we could agree that some of these rules got thrown out the window when it comes to reality. But, you know, Nolan was trying very hard to keep things reality based.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like with Bane, you can't have him on like this jacked up steroid shit that like he's on like in the comic books and the cartoons, you know, because nobody's gonna buy that shit. I mean, that's why it didn't work in Batman and Robin. I mean, you know, the guy in the rubber suit.
Didn't work in Batman and Robin was because Batman and Robin was such a bad film.
Right. But like you forget Bane's in that movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, they tried to do the super serum in that movie, but they made him into like fucking.
He looked like a guy in one of those sumo Halloween costumes.
And was dumb.
Yeah.
Like completely dumb.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it becomes this thing of like, well, how do you take that and kind of translate it in a way that's believable? And I think like the face mask worked for me because of that, because it's like, well, you can't do a cartoon version of Bane. So this face mask works for me because of that.
You know, it's funny thinking back on the movie. You know, you're always waiting for that super strength and, you know, all this kind of crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I appreciate the realism of Bane gaining his strength from where he came from.
Yeah.
Like working himself to that. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
But I swear there was a part in that fucking movie where they showed super strength on Bane when he was punching Batman or somebody. And I have watched that film over and over and over and over again, and I cannot find it. And I know I saw that like almost blurred punch.
Yeah.
When he's hitting somebody. I'm like, there it is, because I can remember you saying, like, there it is. I was like, is it going to come out now? You know what I mean? And it never did. But, I mean, he was superhuman to a certain level, you know?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It just went down that bad path for me. But, anyway.
Yeah.
But I was just disappointed because I had just come, you know, we had just come off this last Batman that was just like a masterpiece to me, in my eyes.
Right.
To what they were doing, and then and this one started off good. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I thought it started off excellent, and I think there was story there too.
Yeah.
But then it just got lost. It that assault on the fucking just whatever building. I just can't get over it.
The thing about that is it's unfortunate that there's a lot of good in that movie, but the bad outweighs it so much that it brings the movie down.
It does. I mean, I'm not talking like down to Mr. Freeze level. You know what I mean? But
right.
I
this
mean,
is nowhere near Batman and Robin level.
No, I mean this movie's still watchable.
Yeah.
But
it's easy to be critical of it because the first two were so fucking good.
Yeah, man. They were. I mean, you're setting up this beautiful arc, and then you just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on something over here now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give half my attention to this film. I mean, that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
Because those city scenes were just so terrible.
I'm working on Interstellar. Why the fuck are we in Pittsburgh?
If
I hear one more motherfucker say yins.
I just couldn't. Some of the shots in that film, I just couldn't forgive.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just. I mean, come on, man.
I got to tell you this story.
I mean, it was like Back to the Future-ish. I mean, you could see the sets. I mean, you could probably almost see the 2x4s holding up the buildings.
Yeah.
I mean, just so bad. Just so bad. Anyway, sorry. Go.
I don't normally tell work stories. And I'm just going to say this. Like, I work in a call center, or I take inbound calls. I do customer service. And I'm talking to this guy. And I'm saying, well, maybe there was a coupon applied to help lower the cost.
Mm.
And he goes, what did you say? I said, well, maybe there was a coupon applied to lower the cost. And he's like, look, if you're going to be in a supervisory role and you're going to do customer service, you need to learn how to talk, because it's not pronounced coupon, it's pronounced coupon.
Wow.
Yeah. So my reply was, I'm sorry I have a Pittsburgh accent, but around here we call it a coupon. So let's move on. And he's like, well, no, you just need to learn how to talk if you're going to do this job.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, great. So later on in the call, again, like it comes back and I'm like, look, buddy, I'm glad somebody was able to apply a coupon to lower that cost for you, but it doesn't change the situation we're in now. And like you could just hear, like, there was like this moment of silence with him, and you could just hear him stewing. And he's like, is there somebody else I can talk to higher than you? Like, yeah, there is. So
nice.
Yeah. I just went like the whole joke about, like, if I hear one more motherfucker say yens, I just thought of that. I wanted to share that with you because it made me laugh. I told Nancy that, and she said I should have asked him if it's tomato or tomato.
Right.
You know, if you're a linguist expert, you know. But let me ask you this. So like, this is, like I said, Batman: The Long Halloween in my top 2 or 3 favorite Batman stories of all time. And I'm happy they did this as an animated series. And it's really, really well done. Marvel doesn't do the animated stuff like they used to, but if they were to do something like that, what is there a story that you'd like to see them tackle in that way of some type, like, or any comic book story? Like, I mean, maybe you have something from DC. I can't imagine that, but like, what comic book story like is like one of your all-time favorites that you'd love to see translated into like a
good cartoon?
Yeah, like, because like that's the problem. Like the level of animation we saw with like the What If series.
Yeah,
that was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I mean, God, there's so many storylines.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Like, man. I mean, there's just so many Marvel I mean, I would love to see a Secret Wars cartoon.
Right.
Done right.
Yeah.
Following the book.
Right.
I mean, that's just probably one of my all-time favorite stories. I would like to see a really, really, really good Spawn cartoon.
Yeah.
Or even Savage Dragon. I would love to see a cartoon about Savage.
Yeah.
I know I'm flipping out of Marvel, but I just can't stay in the Marvel realm because there's just too many.
Right.
But I would like to. I mean, I would love to see it. I would love to see a Secret Wars done right. But I would have to go with, I think a Savage Dragon, like a really good Savage Dragon cartoon would be good. Even Spawn.
You're not a
Like
fan of like that 90s animated Spawn?
It was good, but
Yeah.
I would like to see an updated,
Something updated.
new
Okay.
technology, not that 3D crap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That hand, like kind of like this, kind of like how Batman: The Long Halloween was. I mean, that wasn't 3D.
Right.
It was clearly had like that hand drawn look, but I'm sure it was done on a computer.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I like that look. Yeah, that's what I would do. You? What would you want to see? I mean, I would like to see the Phoenix saga done right.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Sorry.
Yeah.
Things are coming back to me now.
Yeah.
The Inferno series. I mean, there's just, I don't know. Weapon X.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many things that you can do. I would like to see a Wolverine cartoon.
Yeah.
Like starting from number 1. You know what I mean? That would be badass. But in today's technology.
Right.
Right.
Like, I mean, there are stories that I'd love to see.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Yeah. Like I feel like the
You're like,
the
see a Super Friends cartoon.
yeah, like the death of Hal Jordan. Like I would love to see that whole thing, like where like Hal gets taken by the Pyrex, I can't remember what the hell it's called. Oh God. But basically the force of like evil within the Green Lantern and the force of fear and like to kill it, to control it, like he becomes the Spectre.
Okay.
Which is like this like being of like a being of vengeance, and like it's kind of a cool character, but it's like he's supernatural, and I guess the only way to control what's inside of him. Like there's a lot of cool storylines, especially like later on, like again, like Green Lantern Rebirth, where Hal Jordan comes back, would be like kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because like, this is a great moment in that book, because Green Arrow is involved with it, and you know, all he has the ring on before Hal comes back. It's like in case of emergency, break glass, and he's got Hal's ring, and he's trying to use the ring, and the ring works on willpower, and he finally gets it to work, but it's taken like it like saps him of like everything. He like collapses because that's how much willpower it takes to make his thing work. And later on, he's asking Hal, he's like, he's asking Kyle Radner, who's like the only Green Lantern left. He's like, does that fucking happen all the time? He's like, you have no idea what it takes. You know, like the amount of willpower that's required to make the ring actually fucking work is like so astronomically high. You know,
yeah.
Like it, and there's a reason why you're chosen. You know, so it's like one of those cool moments in the book where I'm like, that is pretty badass. You know. I think like the Green Arrow, the Longbow Hunters. I think that would be kind of cool to have that. That's like an epic storyline that would be kind of interesting to have done as a comic book or as an animated movie.
While you're on Green Arrow, I think Hawkeye would make a really good animated movie as well. There's some good storylines in Hawkeye, especially with newer books. I know a lot of people that got into those newer Hawkeye books. I'm talking like mid Avengers.
Yeah.
Run.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking like at the end of Endgame and da.
Yeah.
I'm talking like in the beginning of the Avengers and stuff like that. They were coming out with some Hawkeye books.
I think it will be interesting, like if they ever did like a West Coast Avengers cartoon.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
You know, because I mean that was like, you know, Wonder Man, Hawkeye, Mockingbird. I mean, there was some interesting characters like on that West Coast Avengers team.
Yeah.
That was I think it would make for an interesting like cartoon run. Like you could do like 5 seasons, 10 episode seasons like on HBO Max.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Or not
cool.
HBO Max, Disney Plus, I mean.
Disney, yeah.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Yeah. A lot of stuff they can do.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like the great thing. Like DC does that. Like I wish Marvel did.
Yeah, they don't do shit.
Like they used to. Like there was a time where like they were putting out like once every couple months they were doing these animated movies. The problem was they were animated for shit.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, like they put no money into like animation ever until What If.
Right, and it's weird because I mean, especially when you with the Dark Knight with that whole animated series.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching them.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I've been watching. Yeah. Now I've not been watching them in order. I've been doing periodic episodes. A lot of with the Joker because I just it's a Joker.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I started watching that. I put on an episode of fucking what do you call it on the other night? Gotham.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanted to
revisit
a little bit, and I wanted to see what's his name is the fucking not the Mad Hatter, but the Riddler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like getting back to the animation thing. It's funny, like because like people hold up like that X-Men animated series.
Oh, that's
like, and like from a storytelling standpoint, yeah, like from like telling the stories, it's very very good. They're right, but man, that animation is trash.
Oh, it is. It's terrible.
You compare that to like the Batman, the animated series. I mean, and it looks like a giant steaming turd.
Yeah, it's on like that Super Friends level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like 15 years later, 16 years later.
No, it was like the same time.
No, as a Super Friend.
Oh, no. The Super Friend. No. Yeah, from the Super Friends, you're talking like 15, 20 years.
Not even that. No,
I'm talking. It came.
I mean, that came out. Amazing Friends.
Well,
that was on
Amazing Friends. That was the 80s.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it was that same level of.
Yeah.
It was that same level of cartoon.
Right.
There was no change in that cartoon between really Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends to / the X-Men animated series.
Right.
It's the same animation.
Yeah.
Maybe worse.
Yeah. But I mean, like the only thing it had going for it was it told the stories very well.
I mean, Transformers look better than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're right. I mean, it's just it's like ridiculous because it's like there's no excuse for it. Like just invest the money in quality animation, and they refuse to up until What If they just refuse to
invest the money. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they hold that show in such high regard, but the animation is garbage.
It is.
It's just so bad.
Yeah.
But you're right. From a storytelling standpoint, it's excellent.
Like even some of the voice acting is bad on that show. Like
I know, but
yeah,
that's why I went from. That's why I just watched The Dark Knight back then.
Yeah,
because I just love the animation.
Yeah,
it was night and day. When you look at that animation on that Batman series versus the animation on X-Men.
And again, like
the just doesn't hold a candle.
Like the voice acting, like there are some moments in like the voice acting of like when I've tried rewatching an X-Men series because like I remember watching it in the '90s and thinking, "Fuck, this is good," you know. And I try watching it now and I'm like, "Holy shit, this is like watching Speed Racer from the '60s," you know. It just, what was I thinking? But yeah, at the same time, Like I can rewatch those Batman the Animated Series episodes over and over again. And the thing, like, one is the animation, but two is like sometimes it's the voice acting. There's some bad voice acting in that X-Men.
And that's one of the reasons why I hate Rogue.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, that voice. Whoever, I don't know who that voice actress is, but that's awful.
In the book, she was great.
Yeah.
I mean, before this series.
Yeah.
And once the series came out, I can't read Rogue to this day in a comic book and not
Without
think of
hearing that shitty voice actress.
That southern, I mean, nothing wrong with the southern shitty voice. I mean, but it was just so bad. It was almost pungent. Like it was too much.
Yeah.
There's one way to be Gambit. There's another thing to be Rogue.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Remy pulled it off. Rogue just absolutely did not.
No, it was bad.
It was horrible.
Yeah. And whoever the voice actress was for Jubilee, that was another one that's just horrible.
Even the whatever.
Yeah.
Think of that animation.
Yo. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One pumpkin bomb looks better than what they were pulling off on that show.
Yeah.
The fucking Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends costume party for Halloween was better than anything they put out in the X-Men thing.
Yeah.
But and that was 10 years prior.
Yeah. But it's like, it's funny though, because we hold, it's just, we hold that in such high regard, and I don't understand why. Like, I do, because like at the time, I guess it worked, because like at the time I watched it and I was like, this is fantastic.
Well, I think it connected a lot of things, and I think the storytelling was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just.
But it doesn't hold up at all.
G.I. Joe was better than that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
People ate it up, though. They loved that series. Thundercats was better than that.
Thundar the Barbarian was better than that.
I don't know. Oh, no, man. Now, I have to say one thing, though. Thundar the Barbarian was probably better than that because of the backgrounds they were using in watercolor.
Yeah.
But when you saw that different shade of brown for Ookla, you know something was up. You know what I mean? Something was filled in there. They overlapped that shit and they fucked up the color.
Yeah.
You know, like Ookla just showing a little like lighter shade of brown. Something's fucked up. Right. I'm telling you. It's like the old Scooby-Doo cartoons. I mean,
yeah.
Scooby-Doo, I mean, it's pretty good animation for back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the backgrounds and the watercolor that they were doing in the background shots of like them in the swamp or the background of a house, or
right,
that's what was good. But when you saw that fucking different shade of door, you knew something was coming through there. You knew it. You saw that thing on the floor. It wasn't brown like the rest of the floor. Something's coming up. All of a sudden, you got a. But you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Because it was overlaid, on top of everything else. You know what I mean? But.
Thundar. Poor Thundar. Poor Ookla.
Ookla in that different shade, you knew.
Yeah.
Something was happening. I don't know if the anime. Thinking back to Thundar, I think they were still doing watercolors back then.
Yeah.
On the backgrounds.
Yeah.
I don't know. The original He-Man series was pretty bad too, though.
Oh yeah, that was awful.
I mean, the problem with the He-Man series was, all the He-Man characters had giant melons.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it wasn't like, the X-Men where you're seeing like this shot of X-Men and then, three people conversing and stuff.
Yeah.
You just got two fucking gigantic melons on your TV. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Man at Arms and He-Man are talking, and it's just like the two of them like looking at each other, like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like they would keep getting those close-up shots like that. It was just like I could see the flaws. You know what I mean? I think you forgot to erase something there.
And that was something where, like, they subscribed to the 1966 Spider-Man cartoon philosophy of, well, if we can reuse as many shots as possible, we can save money. Like, there was a lot of, like, you could tell this is just like a reused shot of He-Man running through a hallway that they like overlaid over another background.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, there was a lot of that.
Oh yeah, and Spider-Man swinging through the city.
Yeah,
that was all. You know.
Yeah, you'd watch one of those episodes. You'd be like, "Oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this before." Yeah, you know.
He must go there a lot. He must be a long time in that area.
Yeah,
because he's really swinging the shit out of this area.
He must live near here.
This must be the worst place on earth. I've seen like 6 of the Sinister Six here. What's happening?
I remember when you bought Sinestro there last week.
Yeah, it's like an alley off Fifth. This is a terrible place.
Yeah.
Look at those rats.
Yeah.
Telling you. Yeah, but they used to use a lot of refootage. But I mean, it's how to save money. I get it.
It does, yeah, but still, it like looks awful.
It does.
Like it does, especially like at that point, like, you know, and He-Man was like that was making money, you know.
Oh, I was selling hand over fist on toys.
Yeah.
It was killing on toys.
Yeah, spin the little scratch, make it look good.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. It's like the Pirates, man.
Yeah, like the Pirates.
They're making money regardless at that point.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make a difference. Oh my God.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Come to think about it, G.I. Joe was a pretty bad cartoon. We had some pretty bad cartoons.
It was bad in a way that, like, you know, nobody got hit. Like, you have these like massive battles, like here come the Joes storming, like, you know, whatever hideout Cobra had, and like Cobra guys were just shooting like crazy, and nobody's getting hit with anything. There was never a dead body laying around. Like, you know, somebody gets shot out of the sky, you'd have to see, like, you know, like the two Cobra guys in parachutes coming down. Like,
yeah, you always saw the shoot.
Yeah, it was like no, like these people were like, you're supposed to be the best of the best, and you can't hit the side of a fucking barn.
Fucking Jeeps are being blown up, and miraculously they jump out.
Like, my personal favorite would always be like, okay, we got to hit that bunker there. And like they're shooting at the bunker, and like the guys are jumping out just before it gets hit and blows up, so you see that they've survived. And I get, like, I'm sure there was like some sort of regulation in the 80s that you couldn't show like people dying like that, but still, it's like, it's so fucking horrible, you know.
But I think that's why I like these DC cartoons so much.
Yeah,
because we're seeing some R-ratedness and death and punishment.
Oh yeah, they definitely like, I think the part 1 of the Long Halloween was PG-13 and part 2 was R.
Yeah.
You know, so. And they've done, like, I know what, I think they've done a couple of Suicide Squad cartoons that are both rated R. And I think
rated R. I think it's mature.
Yeah. And I think well, I know Batman Was it The Last Laugh? No, not The Last Laugh.
Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke. Yeah, that was a hard R.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. So, like that. Yeah, the DC animation is not afraid to go after that R rating, which I appreciate.
I think they're quite proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, so too at this point.
They don't hold back, dude.
No.
Which I'm like, all right. I get the use of the F word here.
Yeah.
I agree. And I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking badass right there.
They're like, we don't have the fucking mouse holding us back.
Exactly. And it's like, yeah, exactly. You're right there.
Yeah.
Instead of hearing like, oh, darn it. You get fucking Samuel L. Jackson on DC side.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Stan would have gotten out that full motherfucker.
And the moments that Saw movie I watched, Spiral or whatever, the moments that you did see with Samuel L. Jackson, completely fucking worth it.
Oh, I can imagine.
I mean, like, he may have 10 minutes in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And he drops like 30 motherfuckers.
But I mean, he may have 10 minutes in this movie. But the scenes that he's in,
worth every penny.
Every single fucking penny.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, not to go back, but I was really impressed with Chris Rock.
Yeah. I heard he's very good.
I'm talking like, this was some serious acting chop shit going on right here.
Yeah.
Like they reined him in and said, hey man, you got to bring up your A game. You got to act. None of this,
Well, I think that was him. I mean, he was like very big. Like he pushed for this to be made.
Yeah. I mean, it was good.
This was his baby. So I think that reining in and like was really acting, I think that was more him than it was anything else. Because
as far as believable characters, I would go like a 90%, 85%. I mean, you still have the glitches of like, I don't know, like a couple of things he says just goes right to parent. Oh my God.
The Sandler movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like right to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's why I give it the 85. But I mean, he's on money the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's you should watch it. It's actually a pretty good horror movie.
Yeah, I have to look it up. What was it on?
I think that was on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost positive. It's something you have because I didn't go. Or was it? No. It was. I don't think it was on IMDb because I watched something on IMDb and I think I turned it off today. What's that? It's on Stars.
No, I don't have Stars.
Ah, son. Doesn't have Stars. You won't watch Hamilton. What the fuck?
Well, I want to get Stars.
It's Halloween for me. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to get Stars because they did that. Stephen Amell did that wrestling show Heels. I want to see because that looked really good.
Yeah.
So at some point I'll be subscribing to Stars just so I can watch that.
Yeah, maybe a couple months.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Once everybody else is like, got all out of their system, I'll catch up.
Yeah.
Well, while we're going here, it was something I wanted to bring up. I don't want to go there. I want to go here. So our good friend Matt's a friend of the show on Twitter.
Okay.
For those who don't know, he is very involved with like a
dark magic. No,
dark magic, very much so. Yes, he is very much into
my little. I'm just kidding.
He's a brony, from what I understand. No, he's very, very much into a. He's a supporter of Heather O'Rourke.
Okay.
For those who don't know, she was the little girl in Poltergeist.
Yeah.
And like he and his family, like they do, like part of a foundation, like a conservatory, where trees get planted.
Yeah.
Like apparently this was like a passion of hers that he's involved with. And apparently he brought to my attention that they're doing a documentary about her. It's called Heather O'Rourke, She Was Here. It's independently financed by 2 studios with a tentative release date to coincide with the 40th anniversary of Poltergeist of June 3rd, 2022. The documentary will cover the events of Heather's personal and professional life. Personal and professional life. That sounds stupid. Personal and professional life. Surprise stories for her fans include info never released to the public. The lies and rumors about Heather's death will be addressed in the documentary. IMDb will have a list of those interviewed in the documentary and will change as any reshoots develop. So he wanted me to bring this to our fans' attention. We have fans, our listeners' attention. So I don't believe there's anything like they don't think they need financing because it looks like it's been financed already. But something to keep an eye on. So that's something interesting. Like I always, documentaries are always interesting because I always feel like they're trying to tell you a story from their point of view.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested to see what the point of view of this director is in regards to the life of Heather O'Rourke. Because, I mean, it is a sad one.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. So that's something to keep an eye on. I wanted to bring up Matt. Matt's a friend of the show. He always retweets us and interacts when he can. And so I'll bring it to everybody's attention. Huh?
I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
There's all kinds of mystery behind that I would like to know the truth of.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like just one of those weird, like one of those, true Hollywood stories, what's real and what's like scandalized, because scandal is always more interesting.
Yeah. I think it's the whole thing surrounding the show that is what's the weirdness of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
It's just such a weird, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's all just kinds of, it's like fucking around with a Ouija board. Did we open something up here that we shouldn't have, even though it isn't me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
But to hear a documentary on the truths of it, I would like to. I would like to know.
Yeah.
Did that fucking clown really move off that chair? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Because that is like, why I'm afraid of clowns, and
yeah,
I never looked at a rocking chair the same.
that Poltergeist. It's amazing how like that movie's PG and is still scary as fuck.
I can't believe that thing is still PG. I can't believe they didn't change the rating on it.
But
I get it.
Yeah.
But there's some things in there that I don't know.
But for a PG movie, for a Steven Spielberg movie, like that, he produced it. I don't think he directed it. It's a scary movie. Like, if it made it now, yeah, it would probably be PG-13.
I think so.
But still, like for back then, for 40 years ago.
Yeah. Well, PG movie, definitely. I don't know if she ever got nude in that. when she was rolling around on the ceiling. Can't remember. But there was definitely a bra and panties scene in there. There was her in the bathtub. There's definitely a pot scene, drug paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a gore scene. With the face in the mirror and the maggot in the chicken. And, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, there was definitely some PG-13 elements in there. I mean, it was probably G in fucking England. But I mean, like, here in the States, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the thing you have to understand is, like, yeah, you're right. Like, at that time, the rating system was much, much different. And so a PG movie,
this is before indie. So, I mean, like, I base everything on PG-13 and PG before indie.
Right. Why? So, like, the way I look at it is kind of like this. Like, even back then and today, most horror movies are R for a good reason.
Right.
But that was a PG movie. If you want to say it would have been a PG-13 movie if it was released 2 years later, that's fine. But still, PG-13 is still relatively tame, and that is still a scary as fuck movie based upon what, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, they do a really good job of, like, scaring the shit out of you without it being
over the top.
Right. You know, I understand it's a ghost story, and ghost stories are different than slasher movies, but still, it's a really well done ghost story that does scare you.
Yeah, I can safely say that movie still has a place that scares me.
Yeah.
And I think because I watched it when I was so young, because it was PG.
Yeah.
The parents were taking their kids to these movies and like, what the fuck? Close your eyes, Johnny. You know what I mean? But I mean, like
the scene with the tree and everything. Like, I mean, that shit. You know, it played into, like, your fears of a child. Like,
right.
You know, the shadows that a tree creates always scared the shit out of me as a kid, and it played right into that. You know, it does a really good job of doing that shit. I mean, you get to the end of it, and come into the light, and shit like that, and you move the body, you didn't move the bodies, but you move the tombstones. I mean, it's really, really well done.
Right, the ghost coming down the stairs, that was fucking crazy. Yeah. I mean, for back then, that was like,
yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean?
It's an extraordinarily well done movie that, like, even like for the time, like even today, like you watch it, like maybe it looks a little hokey to you, but man, it's still fucking like shit. It'll get your heart racing a little bit.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's really hokey about it is, like, if you look at it and you say, "Oh, this is dated." No, I mean, you can make a movie today you can make it look like something like that happened. I mean, like back then, the clothing and stuff like that. So it doesn't really ever look dated to me. Even the toys, because you can remake a movie like that and have it look exactly the same. The only thing that looks hokey to me is some of the effects, like the crumpling of the house within itself looks not good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the most part, even the pool scene where she's in the pool and the skeletons are coming up, that looks fucking great. That's Spielberg magic right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, that is like, and like the scares and but it's not really there. It's pretty much all in her head.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not saying anything. Nothing's coming out of their mouths. You know what I mean? Right. It's just a scare factor. But that's the beauty of Spielberg. I mean, like, that's why he is who he is. And everybody says, "Oh, he won another Oscar." Like, motherfucker deserves it. Yeah. Motherfucker's a great movie maker from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? He turned Jaws into, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And he's so well rounded.
You look at that fucking movie and he had a fucking prop that didn't even work.
Yeah.
And he made that one of the most scariest fucking movies on the planet.
Like, but it's like the thing of, like, like when it comes to Spielberg, like, he's so fucking well rounded. Like, I mean, he's getting ready his next movie is going to be fucking West Side Story.
Yeah. That's
he's
crazy.
Doing a musical.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. This is the guy who did Duel almost 50 years ago, and now he's, doing West Side Story.
Yeah.
It is. It's outrageous. Like, I mean, and in between, like, his body of work is so well rounded. I mean, I mean, Schindler's List is a movie I will never fucking watch again, but it is ingrained in my head.
Yeah.
It's visually stunning, and the story that it tells is like so. Like, he tells us like this awful story, but he tells it in a way that's it's true, and it makes you feel, and like the way it's shot, and like with the black and white, and like the girl and the girl in the red dress and color and everything. It's just so. It's like
I think all of Spielberg. I think all of Spielberg's movies are worth one watch.
Yeah.
No, I do.
Yeah.
Just to see the artistic side of this man.
Yeah.
And then probably 70% of them you'll watch again.
Yeah.
Others you won't. I think I've only seen Saving Private Ryan twice.
Yeah.
And that was enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
But
I do not need to see the horrors of war.
Yeah.
That well depicted.
Yeah, it was just, it just felt long-winded for me. But,
yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, like, one of my favorite scenes is when, I think it's Giovanni Ribisi gets blown apart in the fucking field and he's bleeding to death.
Yeah.
And they're fucking doing what they can and da-da-da. I mean, that reminds me of what I do. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do. I think that every Spielberg movie that comes out should be watched at least one time.
Yeah.
Just to say that you watched it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Like, even a movie like I don't like AI is still like visually stunning.
Oh, I know. I can't really think of a real stinker.
Like, it's not a stinker. Like, AI is not a stinker of a movie. It's just a movie that, like, I don't know. It just, like, I think, again, that's a movie that's like, I think sometimes he does get a little too long-winded, with the stories that he's telling, and I think that was one of them.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, I mean, like, there are things in that movie where I'm just like, wow, this is really fucking good.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I can't believe he pulled this shit off,
Uh-huh.
So you're right. Like, I mean, you're right. Like, I have no interest in West Side Story, but I'm probably going to watch it because it's Spielberg.
Yeah, I think it all deserves one watch.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Just to see what he did with a musical.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a playbook for how musicals are done, like, as a movie. And, like, I can see him, like, completely throwing out that playbook and doing it his own way, and it's going to look amazing.
Yeah, I agreed. And I just think that, I mean, Spielberg was such a huge part of our childhood.
Yeah.
That, I mean, the movies are just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like Uncle Spielberg. I mean, it's pretty much who we are a lot, and what we do and how we think and how we see movies and stuff like that are because of Spielberg.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
You're right. I mean, and we've grown up, like, from the time we were little kids with Jaws till now. I'm a 48-year-old, almost a 49-year-old man who's, like, still, like, in awe of what Steven Spielberg can do as a director.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely nuts how this man has shaped our life outside of Star Wars. And the two of them were friends, for Christ's sake.
And more important, he's not a one-trick pony. Like, so many guys, like, stick to, like, what they know. And he's like, nah, I'm going to try something different. I want to challenge myself.
Right. I don't know. Whatever he does, it just He blows my mind.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, like, you can hate him or whatever you want, but you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I mean, I don't see why anybody would hate Steven Spielberg. Like,
No, I mean, I think some people get like tired of his stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, great, another Spielberg movie. Give him the Oscar. You know what I mean? I mean,
but like, I say the same thing about like Martin Scorsese.
yeah.
Like, oh, here's another Scorsese movie with Nicholson and Pacino and, you know, all these guys. He's the same cast of characters doing another mob movie, and you know why? But give him an Oscar for it because you know he's Martin fucking Scorsese, you know. But at the same time, in all honesty, he usually deserves it.
Yeah.
Like his movies aren't my thing, but yet at the same time, I can honestly say, like, you know, he's a master of his craft, whether I like his movies or not.
Right.
You know. So I you know, to me that complaint doesn't hold up because, you know, if he's making garbage, you know, he'd be doing TV at this point, and he's not. You know.
Right. I just want to read this real quick from his production side, just
Sure.
real quick, and I'm only reading from point A to point B, like
Right.
Like I'm only reading from like when we were young, you know, and this is just the production side. This isn't the direction side.
Right.
Right. So Continental Divide in '81, which is a funny movie.
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
Cars. E.T., Poltergeist, Twilight Zone, the movie, Gremlins, The Goonies, Back to the Future, The Color Purple, The Money Pit. I mean, Amazing Stories, Harry and the Hendersons, Inner Space, Empire of the Sun, Batteries Not Included, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Land Before Time, Back to the Future, 1, 2, Always, Joe versus the Volcano. I mean, it's crazy. Gremlins 2, Arachnophobia then branches off, right? Because Arachnophobia is something completely different. 91, Curly Sue. So we're graduated from high school by this point. But what I'm saying, and that's just the production side.
Yeah.
That's not even the direction or writing side.
Yeah.
But that's our childhood in a nutshell. Yeah. Half those movies we relate to to this day.
Yeah.
We still quote half those movies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's nuts. Yeah. I mean, it blows my mind how someone that can be that influential on my day to day.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, I went off on a rant there, but I mean,
no, you're fine.
I mean, the guy is just. I mean, I don't like all of Spielberg's stuff either. You know what I mean? Like, I'll watch it once, but I'm good sometimes after that. But what he did for my childhood, it's irreplaceable.
Right.
I mean, he fucking brought me Indy, brother.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's best friends with the guy that brought me Star Wars. Not best friends, but what I'm saying is, colleagues who brought me Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, that's my life. All I had to be was good friends with Roddenberry, and we'd be all right. No, I'm just kidding.
I just wish he had reined in Michael Bay with those fucking Transformers movies.
Oh my god.
Like, people forget, like, he executive produced those.
Yeah, he couldn't rein them in.
Yeah, I just wish he had reined them in some.
It's funny thing about Michael Bay. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's fucking Michael Bay film. Anyway, I'm not going to even go there.
I mean, he's got another one coming out, like, next year, like in February, called Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. I was like, watch the trailer for that. I watched the trailer for that. I'm like, yes, like, without even seeing Michael Bay's name, I knew it was a Michael Bay movie. Like, you could just tell.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh yeah, that lighting's Michael Bay. That explosion's Michael Bay. That car chase is Michael Bay. You know, I mean, it's just like,
Right.
This is clearly a Michael Bay. Oh yeah, look, it's directed by Michael Bay. I was right. You know.
You know who I miss you know, it's funny when you see someone like that, and when you see someone's film like that, you kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know who this is.
Yeah.
Like Brockenheimer. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But what's his name? Not Ridley Scott, but what was his brother's name?
Oh,
The one who died.
yeah, I know you.
The
I know you talk. I can't remember his.
The way he shot a film,
Yeah.
you knew it was him.
Yeah.
And I kind of miss that, like,
So do I.
viewpoint.
Because I mean, he was a brilliant director too.
Yeah.
Tony, that was his name, Tony Scott.
Yeah, the way he did films was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's him.
And he made some
romance.
Did he do what?
True romance.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But I miss that art direction.
Yeah. Yeah, because his movies are
not
so
just True
fucking
Romance. But he's done quite a number of movies.
Yeah. I mean, he did Top Gun.
Yeah.
He did True Romance, Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3 like great movies right there.
Oh,
and he did a bunch of shit. Like, I mean, it was like he was. I don't think he was as artistic as Ridley is.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Like Ridley Scott's very artistic. Like even like I'm watching the trailers for this, House of Gucci, and it's like I'm watching like, oh, this looks like a Ridley Scott movie. You could just tell like the way it's shot, and it's like much more artistic than what Tony Scott would ever do, because Tony Scott was about like smash cuts, like
right.
He like, but it had like a visual look that just worked for those. Like sometimes like a Bruckheimer movie or a Michael Bay movie, like they have those smash cuts too, where it's like every 3 seconds, like you're getting a different like camera view, but they don't seem to work as well. Like with the Tony Scott movie, like he knew how to like work those cuts to make it look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mastered it. I mean, like,
yeah,
he did. God, True Romance was such a good film.
Oh, it is.
I think it's very underrated.
It is. I think so too. Like,
makes me feel old.
Yeah.
No, it does. I mean, it just makes me feel old because I feel like the old man saying, "Oh, you know what? You should really go back and watch True Romance."
I know.
It's a really good movie. Because it is. I mean, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's long. But
I know what you mean though, because it's like, you talk to somebody younger and they're like, you're like, you got to see this movie. It's True Romance, and it's like so amazing. And this is a director that's written by Quentin Tarantino, and they're like, whatever.
Yeah, I was like, but you don't understand. This is like real. Like this is like Brad Pitt before he was Brad Pitt, and this is like, this is Balky. This is from a TV series, and this is fucking Christian Slater and Heathers, but you don't even know Heathers.
Yeah, you don't even know. Like, I mean, this is Christian Slater at his best. This is
like one of the only Christian Slater movies that I actually like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
There's like 3. This is one of them.
Yeah, and this is like Arquette.
Yeah, come on, how do you beat that?
You can't. And then and this is one of the best you've watched. Maybe you've even watched Clerks. Maybe you've even watched other movies with great dialogue, but you have never seen the dialogue between fucking Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken in the same room and just truly quite understand what that is. Like, it's probably cinematically one of the best conversations between 2 people I've ever heard in a movie in my entire life.
Yeah.
In my life.
Oh, I agree. Like that is the writing in that scene. I mean, it's probably the best Tarantino. I mean, it screams Tarantino.
Oh, a lot of the movie is.
A lot of the movie does, but like that particular scene, though, like it's reminiscent of like the Madonna scene in Reservoir Dogs, or the oddball conversations in Pulp Fiction. I mean, so it feels.
But it went on forever.
It did, yeah. Like it just.
And it just got better and better and better.
And you didn't want it to end.
No. And you knew what the outcome was going to be.
Because it's just these two maestros just playing off of each other.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Oh.
I mean, like, and it was. You're exactly right. Two maestros playing off each other.
Yeah.
Very good actors in their own right.
Yeah.
Just fucking going to town on each. You know what I mean? Like, God, it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's funny, the brilliance of young Tarantino. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not saying he ever got away from that. I'm just saying that. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff through the Tarantino films. Don't get me wrong. But I compare that scene in True Romance. I compare that scene a lot to the scene in Four Rooms, where they're all at the bar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's very. I wonder if he wrote Four Rooms very early on in his career. Because it was so not similar, you know what I'm saying?
Right? Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, yeah.
It was that dialogue, but it was so perfect in that moment, how it was written into that movie.
Yeah.
Like the whole explanation of, this is, you know what I mean? Like, God, that was a good scene. But anyway, sorry. Wow, we veered all over the place. I'm more like I did, but it's okay.
Well, like it's one of those things, like Tarantino sold off those 3 scripts to like finance Reservoir Dogs, and it was True Romance, it was From Dusk Till Dawn, and Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
And out of those 3, Natural Born Killers is the only one that Tarantino says is not the same movie that he wrote. Like, he's credited as the writer on that, but apparently what's his name, the director, I can't remember, he changed up a lot of that script.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but there are moments in it, like at the beginning, like the whole thing about like the key lime pie, that's very Tarantino.
Right.
Like, I would love to read the original script for that movie.
Yeah.
Like, to see, because like, again, like from a dialogue standpoint, like, I mean, Tarantino can shoot a movie, but I don't think he's as great as people say he is.
Okay.
With visually.
Yeah.
I think his dialogue for the most part is like absolutely killer.
It is, but I think with Tarantino, it just got to a point where it was like, all right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it went like overboard. I think his peak of dialogue was, I mean, out of all the movies, it has to be Pulp Fiction. I mean, it seems like the whole movie was dialogue. I mean, like his type of dialogue throughout the entire thing. You know what I mean?
I really thought it was Jackie Brown.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like Pulp Fiction feels a lot more like Reservoir Dogs. Like, from a dialogue standpoint. Like, they feel very similar. I feel like Jackie Brown, you can still tell it's Tarantino, but I felt the dialogue is more refined in that movie.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's just a story that he told that kind of reined him in just a tad, but
I mean, Pulp Fiction was all over the place, dude.
Yeah.
But in its brilliance, it all tied in.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant movie.
I mean, it is. It's just a brilliant movie.
But like, I feel like Jackie Brown is just like that right accent of like Tarantino dialogue, but pulling it back just enough where it's not just monologue after monologue after monologue.
Right.
You know.
No, I can hear that. I hear you on that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Kill Bill series?
Oh, well, I mean,
do you like the Kill Bill series?
Yeah, I mean, they're both phenomenal. And
Okay.
but again, like it feels like those movies are just like I think this is the difference. I feel like the Kill Bill movies go back to like where Tarantino likes to write a monologue.
Okay.
You know, and there's a lot of monologues there, and they're very, I mean, you know, in the second movie, the Superman problem, and that's a great monologue by Bill. You know, I mean, you know, but he likes monologues. Where like in Jackie Brown, it's conversations.
Yeah.
It's people talking back and forth, not just one person just talking for 5 minutes, giving you all this information, you know.
Although that one person, Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, with that conversation with that dude was a good monologue.
No, yeah, with Roth. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, like there are monologues that he's done that you're just like, that is fucking amazing. I can't believe somebody wrote this. You know,
I can't believe he wrote that.
Yeah.
I mean, of the defining pieces in all of his movies, that is one of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, absolutely.
And I shall strike down upon thee. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
If you don't feel religious after that talk,
Yeah.
I don't know, son. No, I know. I get what you're saying. I wasn't a fan of the Kill Bill series. I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't like a huge fan. I think I started trailing off at that point.
Yeah.
I did. I just wasn't a huge fan of Kill Bill. I thought it was good, but I couldn't.
I liked it, but again, I feel like it's too monologue-y at times. You know,
I just didn't think Uma Thurman fit the part.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like then you get into like Inglourious Bastards, and I mean, I mean that movie's like okay, like I like it, but I mean let's face facts. The thing that you only the one thing you truly remember from that movie is Christoph Waltz at the beginning of it.
Yeah. Right. No,
you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's the thing you remember is that opening with Waltz. You know, Django Unchained's a good movie.
Very good.
You know, the Western that he did, that's a good movie. I can't remember what the name of that was. The one with Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Hateful Eight.
Yeah, Hateful Eight, yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Even like Death Driver is a good
because it had Russell in it. I mean, like for me and you, was it good because it had Russell in it?
Right.
If you take Russell out of it, is it that good of a movie?
Well, you said like Death Driver. It's probably not that good of a movie because it's not meant to be, but I love it because of Kurt Russell.
You mean Death Race?
Death Race, yeah.
Yeah. Man, that was good.
Yeah.
Man, was Russell good in that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he makes that. Well, him and Rosario Dawson make that movie.
Right.
But I mean, it's deliberately a bad movie because that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be a B-level drive-in movie, but it's so fucking good because Kurt Russell's just acting his ass off.
He is. I fucking love Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's an American treasure.
He is. There's so many American treasures.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Kurt Russell's like a guy that like if he was to make a Snake Plissken movie today at his age, I'd still watch it.
Oh, front row.
Yeah.
I'd pay big money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say probably more center to the middle. But what I mean, like,
yeah. I mean, if John Carpenter was to come out and say we're doing Escape 3, and it's going to be with Kurt Russell,
tickets are $200 a piece. Yep, I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yep.
Take my money.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be awful, but I'll be like, I'll love every second of it.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Way off the rails, all over the board.
Yeah, but I love episodes like that.
I know.
We better wrap this. Well, before I do, let me.
Yeah, considering I only have 15 minutes left on my battery.
Oh, jeez. Let me hurry up and get this in.
Yeah.
Our good friend, superfan Thad.
Mm-hmm.
He did go to a haunted house this week.
Mm.
He went to Kennywood.
Okay.
For the new Phantom Fall Fest. So it's no longer Phantom Fright Nights, it's the Phantom Fall Fest. He states it was rebranded from Phantom Fright Nights. The difference is you can now enter the park for the day, and at 6 p.m. the spooks come out. In previous years, it was only open from 6 to 11.
Wow.
So the daytime is more family oriented.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So he says he went around too, so we can experience both things. We rode all of the coasters and the attractions during the day, and that left us to haunted attractions at night. New for this year, they did not have Mortem's Manor at the They did not have Mortem's Manor at the cafe, but they did have all the other attractions. They changed Gory Park and lost Kennywood to Hellbilly Hell. Overall, great time and always one of my favorites. We were able to see the new purple color on the Phantom's Revenge. The paint will look amazing when completed. And this week, he's going to South Park's 100 Acres Manor. So that's Thad's review. Any plans for tomorrow for the old Halloween?
Nope, just staying at the house, passing out some candy.
Yeah.
Scaring some kids.
Yeah.
Gonna have some dinner. I'm on vacation next week.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
you sleep in a little bit.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's the same with me. I'll probably sit outside and waste 2 hours.
Waiting for 3 trick-or-treaters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I wonder if like the kids, like I got like kids like a couple doors down. I wonder if they'll come. And we got the new neighbors that have their baby. I'm sure they'll be, knocking at the door. So I'm just gonna grab a chair.
Themselves.
Yeah, basically, like look, we have a baby that's holding a basket. Put some candy in there.
Yeah, 6 months. Here you go.
Here's a Reese cup. I'm sure they'll enjoy
That's
that.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Here's an almond. Here's a Hershey's with nuts.
I thought about buying Clark bars, like being that dick.
Oh, you should. Or Smarties.
Yeah.
Here's some fucking Smarties, and you get one, kid. One Smartie.
Like a bag of 500 was like $3.99. I thought about buying a bag of Smarties. Only giving out one. I use it for me for the rest of the year.
Here, kid, take this Mellow Cup and like it.
Yeah.
I don't like Reese's. Can't afford them. Here's a Mellow Cup. Here's a Mellow Cup and one Whopper. What a fucking time. I used to hate that. When I used to get candy and there'd be like one Whopper and a fucking wrapper.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Who makes this?
What I should have done was like go to like McDonald's and get like the coupon book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here you go. Here's a coupon for for free fries for you. And
Right.
shit never got cashed in.
Them fucking cookies were bomb. Remember old McDonald's cookies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
That's what dreams were made of.
Those are going the way of the grimace.
That and the fried pie.
Yeah.
Do you remember the fried pies?
Oh, yeah, the apple pie. Yeah, cherry pie.
Oh, my. The originals.
Yeah.
Not the bullshit pie you ate with a fork.
Yeah. No, this was like
fried crispy goodness that came out of that fucking heart attack on a fucking dessert plate.
Yeah.
Oh, those were good days. Yeah, those were the weird candies.
Yeah.
Mallow cups, shady suckers that you've never seen.
Yeah.
You don't even know where that came from. You've never eaten that in your entire life, and all of a sudden it's in your bag. That's a throwaway.
The absolute worst was, and I always felt bad for these people because, like, what were you thinking? Like the homemade popcorn ball.
Oh.
My parents were throwing that shit right the fuck out.
Yeah, and like they took the time to make that. I mean, I think there were some honest engines that did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like engines.
Wow.
Wow. But
Ian just got canceled.
Yeah, I need to get woke. I'm sorry.
All of a sudden, Dave Chappelle is coming to your defense.
Yeah, right. Calling me now. Honest engines. Jesus Christ. I think there's some honest people.
Yeah.
That were honest engines. Jeez, I can't even believe that came out of my mouth. I think there's some honest people out there that made some popcorn balls and like really like put the time in the kitchen like for like 4 or 5 fucking days.
Yeah.
Because in the port, I mean, where I grew, I mean, people did give those fucking popcorn balls, not the ones in the red, blue, and purple wrapper.
Yeah.
The homemade popcorn balls.
Like a homemade popcorn ball like saran wrap.
Yeah, and they made like 500 of them. I mean, they must have spent like days sweating their ass.
Yeah.
Making these, dripping their sweat into these popcorn balls. No, seriously.
And like
just to have kids go home and like, I ain't fucking eating that.
Well, and with my parents, like it would be like, you know, because like my parents were like, you know, my parents are like, yeah, you know, people put fucking razor blades and, you know, who knows what else in the stuff. You know, they're checking all the candy. Like, yeah, homemade popcorn ball is going straight in the trash.
Right there.
Yeah.
Anything homemade.
They're not even checking it. Like, you know, maybe it's clean. Like, no, you don't know what they put in there. You know.
We had this neighbor before he died. This is terrible. In the port, right?
Yeah.
He used to give away. This was like 2 years before he died. I swear to God. Get on, hey, how you doing, sir? You know, I'm not going to say the name.
Yeah.
But he used to throw us like, I mean, we were like real neighbors within the same block. I mean, he knew all the kids, you know?
Yeah.
He'd be throwing fucking rolls and nickels and shit.
Yeah.
In our bags, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was his last gift.
Yeah.
He come on, Mom's like, who the hell gave you a whole roll of nickels? I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't going to give them up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, 'cause the next year I wanted another roll of nickels.
Yeah.
But
that's my $5.
Those were some of the oddities.
Yeah.
You get that little cellophane, not like it was prepackaged, so someone made it, but you like 1.5 pretzels.
Yeah.
You're like a little pretzel and then a half a pretzel inside of like, sealed plastic thing. You're like,
yeah.
Where does someone buy that?
No, I have no idea.
Is that the generic section of Giant Eagle back in 1984? I mean, like, who buys these Halloween treats where you get like 1.5 pretzels?
It never felt like you would also get like that oddball house that would give you like a Huggy.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, like what, like at the end of the night, you like have like 2 or 3 like Huggies in your. And for those who don't like, I mean, they were like these little plastic containers that had like an aluminum foil lid.
And looked exactly like a grenade.
Yeah, or like a barrel, and it was like this shitty like fruit punch or grape drink.
Dude.
Yeah.
It was fucking drink.
Yeah. But it was like this oddball thing. So like somebody like go like and buy like a 100 pack of those and be handing out that shit out.
Jesus.
My personal favorite though was there was Striffler's Funeral Home.
Yeah.
And we would go there and they gave you
enough finger sandwiches. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Yeah. Like you go to the funeral home and they give you ice cream.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so but you have to eat it right then. Like you couldn't like that wasn't coming home with you, And like half the time it was like half melted because they have like in a cooler, but the cooler was open.
Right.
And I was just thinking to myself like, what the fuck? Like, you understand how cooling works. You keep dead people here.
Oh. Yeah.
Why am I getting a fucking melty ice cream sandwich?
Right.
Oh, well. Let's wrap it up. Your battery's about to die.
4 minutes left, son. 4 minutes left.
Well, remember, there are a number of different ways you can reach out and touch us. You can send us an email like Thad does. If it's interesting, I'll read it. If it's, But that email address is pittsburghnerd@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Pittsburgh Nerd. We're very, very easy to find. And we are a member of a number of podcasting networks. We're on the Tangent Bound Network, the Weeby Geeks Network, and the Pod Breed Network. Give them a Google search. You'll find all the other great podcasts they have to offer. And lastly, as always, we want to thank you, dear listener, for checking us out each and every week. Can't thank you enough for your attention. We appreciate it.
We do.
And on that note, the dreamer has awakened.
Peace.